Pokemon Horizons episode 63 just aired, and man, here we are again with another back-to-back banger episode. This one was so special, dude, featuring the big battle between Liko and Grusha, and shockingly it was incredibly brutal too. And because of that brutality, it was very controversial in the community. There is a lot to talk about in today's review, so let's just dive into it. After arriving at the Glaciado gym for Liko's battle against Grusha, Liko, Roy and Dot spent some time bonding with a few Cetoddles and sledding on their backs all over the mountains. This whole sequence was incredibly fun and really adorable too. It really made me want to ride a Cetoddle myself. Or just hug one, you know? I don't know, they're adorable, man. It was also really cool to see Florigato using her yo-yo to grapple to tree branches high up, to steer them away from obstacles, and make sure you remember that because it'll come into play again later in the episode. Liko bumps into Grusha and he's pretty cold towards her, very fitting for a guy who lives on a snowy mountain, and then he passive-aggressively tells her that she must be really confident if she's willing to goof around sledding on the mountain before her gym battle today, and that puts Liko on edge and really worries her, you know? Dude, I really love Grusha's harsh portrayal so far. It makes him feel like he's not a pushover at all. Perfect for a gym leader, you know? Later on, Liko finds some books and some photos of Grusha from a few years ago, and she learns that he used to be a famous pro snowboarder, and he used to look a lot happier too. But basically, one day he nearly collided with a Cetoddle while snowboarding, so then he ended up crashing down the mountain and permanently injured his leg. Because of that, he heartbreakingly chose to retire from the sport permanently, and that led him to become a gym leader instead. Can I just say it's so cool to see this story, which we've only heard of in the games, actually like coming to life on the screen in the anime. I love that we get to see his past, you know, rather than just hearing about it. And I really love that he bonded with the Cetoddle involved in the crash as well. He never blamed it for what happened, so even though Grusha is quite harsh, he was pretty sweet and kind to the Cetoddle. What's really interesting is that Grusha quit snowboarding directly because he couldn't get the results he achieved before his injury anymore. He wasn't capable of winning every time like he used to. This makes it really clear that Grusha is super harsh on himself and on others, and his main priority is always the result of things above everything else. It's not about how hard he tries, it's about the result, whether he won or whether he lost, and if he didn't win every time, then it wasn't good enough for him. Once again, this is something that's going to be really relevant later on in the episode. Speaking of later on, Liko arrives for her battle against Grusha, and it's a 2v2 showdown starting with Liko's Florigato versus Grusha's Cetitan. Cetitan is one big boy, dude. I'd be quaking in my boots if I was Florigato. Maybe the Puss in Boots inspiration for Florigato's design was real after all, man. So during the battle, Liko prioritizes speed since Cetitan is really big and really slow, but Florigato's quick attack doesn't even dent the big guy. Regardless, it's really cool to see Liko thinking about her approach like that, you know? It's clear that she's becoming a better battler and a better strategist. After Florigato dodges some icicle spears, but then Cetitan uses Ice Spinner and spins around, becoming much faster and hitting Florigato, so Liko switches out Florigato for Hattrem. I can't wait to see Hattrem in an official battle. Cetitan uses Icicle Spear, but then Hattrem uses Confusion to send the attacks crashing back at it. They hit Cetitan pretty hard, and man, it's so great to have a protagonist who actually uses the brokenness of Psychic-type moves in battles. I always wished that Ash would, but he never did. Hattrem shows absolutely no fear in the face of a giant beast, and she counters Aqua Break head-on with Brutal Swing, but then Cetitan combines the Aqua Break with Ice Spinner and knocks Hattrem out. It's sad that once again, 3 battles in a row, their second Pokemon didn't really do very much, but Hattrem was still pretty cool in the battle and it made me appreciate her even more. What a fearless little princess, you know? So Liko sends out Florigato again, and she states that Cetitan's outside defenses are way too tanky for her to dent, so her new strategy is to attack Cetitan from the inside. When Cetitan opens its mouth to use an attack, Florigato fires endless flurries of Magical Leaf directly into its mouth, causing Cetitan to swallow all of them and fall to the ground, bloated and really injured. And bro, that felt like such an Ash Ketchum strategy, you know? I love that Liko is being really great and unique in her strategies now. So Grusha then switches out Cetitan for his Altaria, and Liko thinks about all of their past battles and how they're leading her to really reaching for victory here. She's really determined to win, you know? go after all of her past losses. But Altaria just flies in the sky and dodges all of Florigato's attacks effortlessly, and then Altaria sends countless moonblasts down at Florigato, with Florigato struggling to keep dodging and countering them. But Liko, being the amazing little strategist that she's become, she thinks back to sledding earlier and how Florigato used its yo-yo to attach to high tree branches, so she commands Florigato to do the same thing here. Florigato flings her yo-yo around Altaria's feet, latching onto it, and then Florigato acrobats upwards, smashing Altaria down into the ground. Dude, Liko and Florigato are insane! And Liko is taken no prisoners either, because she takes the momentum and immediately terastallizes Florigato. It's so insanely cool to see her taking control and pressuring the gym leader, rather than it happening the other way around like always. But Grusha quickly terastallizes Altaria too, and tragically, despite all of the momentum that Liko has, when Altaria and Florigato clash their Ice Beam and Magical Leaf together, Altaria's raw power level is just far beyond Florigato can reach, so Altaria's Ice Beam smashes through the Magical Leaf and knocks Florigato out. Liko lost the battle, but man, the animation for that clash was stunning. Genuinely beautiful, dude. After the battle, Liko is really worried about whether she passed her trial test or not, and Roy and Dot comfort her and reassure her that hopefully she passed, because she did battle amazingly despite the result being her losing. And Dot even says that she lost her battle against Larry, but he still let her pass the trial because she battled so well beforehand. But then Grusha shows up and sends Liko's hopes and dreams crashing right down to the snowy ground, because in a very cold and brutal manner, he tells her that she failed her test. Liko, Roy and Dot are shocked, and Roy and Dot even said, but she tried so hard, she battled so well, you know? But Grusha, being as harsh and brutal as he is, he straight up tells Liko that it doesn't matter how hard she tried because she still lost. And to him, the result of the battle is all that matters. In real battles, trying your best doesn't really matter if you lose anyway. Liko is absolutely stunned and shocked and all other synonyms of the word. And then to rub salt in the wound, Grusha tells Liko that passing her would have been like a frigid joke. Bruh, that is insane, dude. The episode ends with Liko staring at her Pokeball, utterly stunned as tears begin forming in her eyes. That ending was absolutely brutal, dude. So brutal. And I've seen a lot of people really not liking how it went down. It's been a really controversial episode, dude. A lot of people are angry at this one. The main criticism I've seen is that why did Liko fail after she battled so well, you know? How is it fair that Dot lost her battle against Larry, and Dot battled and strategized way worse than Liko did in that battle, but then Dot still passed her test against Larry? Meanwhile, Liko somehow failed today, despite performing way better than Dot in every way? And look, I totally understand that opinion, and you're totally right, it's not fair at all. But the world isn't fair, dude. Character flaws aren't fair. The narrative of the show isn't always fair. Liko failed her test because of a flaw in Grusha's character, because of a flaw in Grusha's attitude that was set up throughout the episode. We saw many times that Grusha prioritizes the results over everything. Trying hard doesn't matter to him, only winning does. That attitude, that character quirk, that character flaw was set up throughout the entire episode. And yeah, that absolutely sucks for Liko, it's not fair on her at all. But so much more came out of this battle than Liko just failing, you know? We're 100% gonna see both Liko and Grusha changing as people in the next few episodes, and then I'm sure that Liko could rematch him and prove him completely wrong in the future. That's so exciting and so hype to me. Character flaws and personality traits influencing the story in both positive and negative ways? That's really realistic and really awesome. The way that Grusha was set up in this episode established it as being really well written and fitting in my eyes. I don't want all the gym leaders to be identical in their approaches and in their opinions and in their judgments. I want them to be unique individuals with their own unique character flaws. Character flaws that Liko, Roy and Dot will have to learn how to overcome in ways that will benefit their characters. And that is why I loved this episode. It was cruel and unforgiving and unfair to Liko, and the way that Liko handles that and the way that she learns from it and develops from it, that is really what makes an incredible, exceptional, unforgettable character, and I'm certain that Liko is treading down that path, dude. And hey, even if Liko lost, we can still be proud that she proved herself to be an amazing battler and an amazing strategist in this battle regardless, and we all know she's gonna come back with vengeance and prove everyone wrong. Let me know your thoughts on this episode below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And I would also really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button if you enjoyed. That would help me out a ton, dude. We're on the road road to 130,000 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate it. Finally, join our Discord server using the link below, and on that note, thank you all so much for watching, and best wishes until we meet again!